an engaging introduction for a Western audience. In the heart of the Arabian desert, where trade routes crossed and bustling markets echoed with voices from distant lands, a young man was growing up, one who would later become the most influential figure in Islamic history. Before his prophetic mission, his life was filled with events that shaped his character and reinforced the values he would one day preach. From witnessing tribal conflicts to standing for justice in a society ruled by power, from being a trustworthy merchant to a devoted husband, the journey of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, before his divine calling was full of lessons and wisdom. What was the world like around him? And how did his early experiences shape his future message? Let's travel back in time to 6th century Mecca and explore the years leading up to the revelation. At the age of 15, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, witnessed the Fijar War, which took place at the UK's market between the Quraysh tribe, along with their allies from the Kinana tribe and the Qaysaylan tribe. The cause of the war. The conflict erupted when a man from Kinana, named al-Barid, killed 3 men from Qaysaylan. When the news reached UK's, both sides rose in anger, leading to a fierce battle. The Quraysh and Kinana forces were led by Harb ibn Umayyah, a respected elder among them. Initially, Qaysaylan had the upper hand, but by midday, the tide of battle shifted. Eventually, some members of Quraysh called for peace, proposing that the casualties on both sides be counted and the party with more losses would receive compensation. A truce was agreed upon, ending the hostilities and dissolving the enmity between them. This war was called Fijar, meaning sacrilegious, because it occurred during one of the sacred months when warfare was traditionally forbidden in Arabia. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was present at this war, assisting his uncles by preparing and handing them arrows for battle. The Hilf al-Fudul pact, a pledge for justice. During his youth in Mecca, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, experienced many significant events. One of the most memorable was the Hilf al-Fudul, the pact of the virtuous, which embodied noble values of justice and integrity. He later recalled this event with deep admiration, saying, "I witnessed a pact in the house of Abdullah ibn Judin that I would not exchange for the finest red camels, a prized possession at the time." Narrated by Ahmad. Unlike many alliances of that era, which were driven by tribal pride and rivalry, this pact was based on moral principles. The reason behind the pact. For months after the Fijar War, a man from the Zubayd tribe in Yemen came to Mecca to sell his goods. Al-Azibnyl, a wealthy and influential merchant, bought the goods but refused to pay him. The Zubaydi man sought help from the noblemen of Quraysh, but none intervened due to Al-Az's high status. In desperation, the man stood by the Kaaba and publicly called for justice. Moved by his plea, Zubair ibn Abdul Muttalib, the Prophet's uncle, declared, "This injustice must not be tolerated." In response, key clans of Quraysh, including Banu Hashim, Banu Zurah, and Banu Taym, gathered at the house of Abdullah ibn Judin. There, they made a solemn pledge to stand united against oppression and defend the rights of the weak. They immediately went to Al-Az ibn, took back the Zubaydi man's goods, and returned them to him. This agreement became known as Hilf al-Fudul. Why was it called Hilf al-Fudul? Some scholars believe the name was derived from the Arabic word fadl, meaning virtue, as those involved were committed to righteousness. Others suggest it was named after 3 men named al-Fadl, al-Fadl ibn Harith, al-Fadl ibn Wada'ah, and al-Fadl ibn Fadala, who played a significant role in the pact. Regarding this agreement, Zubair ibn Abdul Muttalib recited a poem. "The virtuous have pledged together that no oppressor shall remain in Mecca. They have bound themselves to this cause, ensuring safety for the weak and the guest. Even after receiving prophethood, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, expressed his deep respect for this pact, stating, "If I were invited to such a pact in Islam, I would accept it." His early occupations. As a young man, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, worked as a shepherd, tending sheep in Banu Sa'd and later in Mecca for its inhabitants. As he matured, he transitioned into trade. He was known for his honesty and integrity, earning the admiration of merchants. He worked with Saib ibn Abi Saib al-Makhzumi, who later recalled, "The Prophet was the best business partner, always fair and never deceitful." During the conquest of Mecca, Saib approached him, and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, warmly welcomed him, saying, "Welcome, my brother and former business partner." Journey to Syria and marriage to Khadijah. At 25 years old, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, embarked on a trading expedition to Syria with the wealth of Lady Khadijah, a noble and wealthy businesswoman from Mecca. Ibn Ishaq reports, Khadijah was a respected merchant who hired men to trade on her behalf. She heard of Muhammad's honesty, trustworthiness, and noble character, so she offered him an opportunity to conduct business with her wealth in exchange for generous compensation. He accepted, and she sent her servant, Seerah, to accompany him on the journey. His truthfulness, trustworthiness, and noble conduct distinguished him, and God was preparing him for his future mission even before prophethood. After returning to Mecca, Lady Khadijah noticed remarkable success in her business. Moreover, Seerah described the Prophet's wisdom, kindness, and honesty, further affirming her admiration for him. Although many noblemen sought her hand in marriage, she declined them. However, she confided in her friend Nafisa bint Munya, expressing her interest in Muhammad. Nafisa approached him with the idea of marriage, to which he agreed. He then discussed it with his uncles, who went to Khadijah's uncle to formally propose. Their blessed marriage. 2 months after his return from Syria, the marriage was solemnized. Banu Hashim and other notable figures of Madar attended the ceremony. The dowry was set at 20 camels. At that time, Lady Khadijah was 40 years old, a woman of noble lineage, great wealth, and exceptional wisdom. She was his first and only wife until her passing. All of his children were born from her, except for Ibrahim. Their children included Qasim, after whom he was called Abu Qasim, Zainab, Ruqayya, Kulthum, Fatima, Abdullah, also known as Tayyib, and Tyre. His sons passed away in infancy, while all his daughters accepted Islam, migrated with him, and witnessed the early days of his mission. However, they all passed away during his lifetime except for Fatima, who lived for 6 months after his passing. Rebuilding the Kaaba. At the age of 35, the Quraysh decided to rebuild the Kaaba, a revered sanctuary in Mecca. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, took part in this noble task. What happened next? We will discover in the next episode, God willing. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.